I'm going to start this by saying I have no idea how this review is going to go. I am in a very interesting mind space right now, if you can't tell from the fact simply that there was no bubbly intro. This is not going to be a bubbly review. I read the book on just seeing it so much over YouTube. I can't even remember who I heard talking about it being released, but I heard from like 2 or 3 different people news about it coming out this year, and that River Solomon was being compared to those who had reviewed the novel, or her editing company, whatever. She was being lauded as the next Octavia Butler. So, you know, for an Octavia Butler, huge fan. Ding, 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 ding. Bells were going off. Then Jerry read it, and I did not listen to her review of it. I watched her expression when she gave the title of the book, and the couple of times that she's mentioned the book since then. Got that she really enjoyed it. Okay, that is a plus in the way of and on the side of the book. Then Kay from KT read it, and she really liked it. And KT does not read a lot of science fiction. I said, okay, wait, I need to really put some thought into reading this. So I put it on hold through Overdrive, and it came in sooner than I thought. And so, yeah, I just finished it. Maybe I'm getting my phone 15 minutes ago. And this is what I will say. Please don't take my demeanor as a sign of me not liking the novel, because I fucking loved it. I can't, or I don't want to give a synopsis of it, because I don't think that any synopsis that I give would do it justice. I don't think, really, this is going to sound ridiculous, I don't think the synopsis matters, because what's more important, because there's nothing, I don't think, again, I never read the synopsis, I don't know what the hell it says. I don't think there's anything in the synopsis that's really going to give you what this book is truly about, or what I took it to be truly about. And a lot of times when people talk about reading sci-fi novels and books that are based so far in the future, it's about the hope that, you know, we have as a people for the betterment of society. And this is not society in the future being better, but this is those who are oppressed and marginalized in society to an even worse degree than we are experiencing now, still having hope and still carrying on, because they refuse to give up, and because the thought is there has to be something better. We have to be getting to something better. Even if I don't get to experience that better, I'm here and I am bringing up people who will bring up people who may be able to experience that better. And that better, not experience it better, but whatever that better is. And that's really what I took from this reading experience. And I am making sure I do this review because someone commented, I can't even remember, like my mind is so scattered. Monica Reed commented that she had just finished reading it when she watched my October TBR, and that her feelings were mixed about it. And Monica, I don't think that your mixed feelings are wrong. I think we as a people who are reading this are supposed to have mixed feelings about it. I think that was River Solomon's point when they wrote this novel. And for those who are marginalized and oppressed and abused today, to see themselves in this novel, to see quite frighteningly where we literally could be headed. Even if you separate it from the idea of the space travel that's in it, to see where we could be headed, especially with the things that are going on right now, and to see ourselves and to see to see people and characters still having some kind of hope, still having some kind of gumption, still having some kind of drive, when the goal and work of everyone who is in power or who are more important is to make us feel and constantly instill in us that we are shit. It's like, oh shit, what was that movie? Avatar. This tells you how scattered my mind is right now. It is like the anti-Avatar. Yeah. Now, aside from how I feel, those of you who have been here for a while, you know that I read books and I go with the feelings that they evoke from me. Like, that is important to me. I think it's an important part of the reading experience. So those of you who are new, first of all, thank you for subscribing. Thank you to Jerry from Onyx Pages for shouting me out in her most recent video, which if you haven't seen, I will link below. And go check her out because she's freaking awesome. After I record this, I'm going to go watch like everybody that I follow who's read this book. I'm going to go watch all of their reviews because I want to know what other people got from it. Anyway, I will say this. If you are not a reader, don't be deterred from reading this book if you are not a reader of science fiction. I would say for me this was more along the lines of hard science fiction because there's a lot of things that are spoken of and referenced in this novel that I had to look up. Like, case in point, I read this on my Kindle, and those of you who have a Kindle, you know if you come across a word that you don't know, you can press and hold on the word and Merriam-Webster definition will come up, as well as information on Wikipedia. There are going to be quite a few words that you are going to come across in this novel, and when I say quite a few, I mean a lot, that you are going to come across in this novel that are not in the Merriam-Webster dictionary, or at least not the most recent updated ebook version that I have on my Kindle. So I had to refer to my phone and key those words in to get what some of the definitions were. The main character's name is Aster. She is a medical assistant / doctor. It depends on what area in the ship she's in as far as how much credibility she's determined to have in her field, or how good enough she is to do what she is supposed to do in her field. And so as a result of that, and I don't know how much River Solomon knows about this stuff, but my goodness, if they wrote this book sitting beside a thesaurus, damn it. Because that's what I pretty much had to do in reading this book. And I don't think that that is a negative thing. I love coming across words that I don't know. I love learning new things. Typically, I make a list of the new words that I come across when I read a novel, but I didn't. In this case, and part of the reason why I didn't was because I realized I was reading this attempting to understand every part of the novel that explained what Aster did or what Aster was referring to, and I didn't really have to understand it to get what was going on. And I had to get my brain beyond, I have to know what this means to get to what was going on. And once I did that, I found it easier to come to terms with what I didn't understand, what I did have to look up. Like, there's one word that's about 15 letters long that explains what is the definition of what this internal area is, the bones that come in this internal area. There's one like 15 to 17 letter word that basically says neck. But yeah. So if you are going to read it, don't be turned off by the fact that you may need Wikipedia and Google to help you understand some words, because I needed it and I had to get over that myself, because I was like, is this book really over my head? And once I got beyond that and I could see what I felt like the point of what Solomon was trying to bring forth, once I got beyond it, I could see that. And that's when the anti-Avatar vibe kicked in, and I realized that I was missing what I thought the greater purpose and the greater point of this novel was. The ship, the Matilda that they are on, is a cesspool of fuckery, a cesspool of racism, a cesspool of gender inequality, a cesspool of rape, a culture, a cesspool of financial disparity, the differences between those who are extremely wealthy, those who are middle class, and those who are lower class, meaning basically those who are lower class have barely anything to their names. There's a whole level on this ship that is specifically set and designed for people who work in the lower decks, and the people who work in the lower decks are people who look like me. And they are in a cesspool of filth and literal shit and garbage that they funnel into tunnels that are repurposed to keep the ship going. Like, there's so much more. I'm still thinking about this, but I wanted to do this review while I was in this state. This is one of the few times that I wanted to catch all of this for you and for myself to upload, because I think this part of it is important. Like, when I start writing things down, I start working to make more sense of things, and right now my mind is stuck in 300 years is 1,000 years is right now. That's where my mind is. But yeah, holy balls, I read it. It's so good. That's all I'm gonna say.